Hello, my dear students. This is Mrs. Shaima Gharib, and today's lesson about multiplying fractions by a whole number. Let's start by revising some rules before you watch any video. First, you have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve the questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start. Look at this example. 1/2 times 3 or half times 3. We can do any multiplication sentence using repeated addition. So when I multiply a number by 3, for example, I can find the answer by adding this number to itself 3 times. Because that means half times 3 means 3 groups of halves, or add the half to itself 3 times. So, which means half and half and half, 3 halves. Or I can add it to itself 3 times, 3 groups of halves, half and half and half. What is the answer? 3 halves. How to write 3 halves? 3 over 2, which is an improper fraction. And we can also write any improper fraction as a mixed number. So 3 over 2 can be written as 3 divided by 2 equals 1, remainder 1. So I can write it as a mixed number, which is 1 and 1 over 2, or 1 and half. Is this okay? Now let's try a different fraction. 1/4 times 3, which means I can add the quarter 3 times, 3 groups of quarters, quarter and quarter and quarter, which is 3 quarters. As you can see, and the answer will be 3 quarters. 1/4 times 7, which means 7 quarters. If you added the quarter to itself 7 times, you will get 7 quarters, which is an improper fraction as well. So all these fractions so far are unit fractions. So now let's see one more example. 1/5 times 2, which means 1/5 plus 1/5, which is 2/5. Right? 2 over 5. What do you notice about all these answers? First, I want you to look at the denominator of the fraction and the denominator in the answer, or of the product. So we can say that the denominator doesn't change. So when I multiply a fraction by a whole number, the denominator will not change. And what about the numerator? Look at the numerator here. It's 1. And the numerator here is 2, because I multiplied by 2. So what we do is that we multiply the numerator by the whole number. Let's do this example. 1/3 times 5. So which means, yes, we are going to multiply the numerator by the whole number. So 5 times 1. The numerator is 1 times the 5, which is 5. And I will keep the denominator as it is. Or I can add the 1/3 to itself 5 times. 1/3 plus 1/3 and so on. So the answer will be 5/3. So each time I multiply the numerator by the whole number to get the numerator, and the denominator stays as it is. Let's do this example. 2/3 times 5. What do you think when I multiply the numerator, the whole number, with the numerator? So 2 times 5 equals 10. So the answer will be 10/3, or 10 over 3. I keep the denominator as it is. Okay, is this clear? Look at this example. Can you do it on your own? What did we say? We are going to multiply the numerator by the whole number. And I can also do it as repeated addition, 2/5 plus 2/5 plus 2/5 plus 2/5. So the answer will be 2 times 4 equals 8 over 5. And this is an improper fraction. I can do it, or I can change it into a mixed number. 8 divided by 5 equals 1 remainder 3. So it could be written as 1 and 3 over 5. And as we said, the denominator does not change, and we multiply the numerator by the whole number. Let's do one more example. 3/4 times 2 will do exactly the same, will equal 6/4 or 6 over 4. And I can also write it as a mixed number. And I can also simplify it first. If we want to simplify this fraction by dividing up and down by 2, it will give me 3 over 2. And I can write it as a mixed number as well. 4/7 times 3. So what I'm going to do is multiply the 4, which is the numerator, by the whole number. So the answer will be 12/7, which is 12 over 7. It's also an improper fraction, so I can write it as a mixed number, which is, how many 7s are there in the 12? Only 1 7 and remainder 5. So it will be 1 and 5 over 7. Is this clear? Now let's have some questions. Multiplying fractions by a whole number. 2/3 times 4. Do you remember? What do we do? The denominator doesn't change, and we multiply the numerator by the whole number, or I can do the repeated addition. So 4 times 2 equals 8, so the answer will be 8 over 3. 4 times 5 over 6, so I will do exactly the same. 4 times 5, which is 20 over 6. Both fractions can be written as a mixed number in the simplest form. For example, this 20 over 6, how many 6s are there in the 20? 3 6s, which is 18, and the remainder 2. So I can write the answer as a mixed number, 3 and 2 over 6. I can also write this mixed number in the simplest form as, I'm going to simplify the 2 over 6, so it will be 3 and 1/3. Is it clear? Now let's see the next example. 6 times 3 7s. I'm going to do exactly the same. I will multiply the 3 by the 6, which is 18, so it will be 18 over 7. And the denominator stays as it is. I can also write this as a mixed number. How many 7s are there in the 18? There are 2 7s and remainder 4. So I can write 2 and 4 over 7. Is this clear? Now let's see this question. Tia gave each of her 5 friends 1/8 of her birthday cake. How much cake did she give to her friends, and how much of the cake is left? Let's look at the first question. How much cake did she give to her friends? So she gave each one 1/8. So I'm going to multiply the 1/8 by 5. Then the answer will be 5/8. So she gave 5/8 of her birthday cake. How much left? So when you take 5/8 from one whole, the rest will be 3/8 because 3/8 and 5/8 makes 1 whole. Look at the second question. If she wants to give each one of her friends 1/4 of her birthday cake, this time she wants to give 1/4. And how many friends? How much cake does she need to give to 9 friends? And this time she has 9 friends. So we are going to multiply the 1/4 by 9. And the second question, how many cakes does she need to buy? Let's see the first question. We said we are going to multiply the 1/4 by 9, and the answer will be 9/4, which means more than 1 cake, because it is an improper fraction. So how many cakes does she need? That's why he's asking how many cakes does she need to buy, because she will need to buy more than 1 cake. So in order to answer this question, I need to change the 9/4 into a mixed number. 9 divided by 4 equals 2 remainder 1, which means 2 and 1/4. So she needs 2 and 1/4 to give it to her friends. So can I buy 2 and 1/4 cake? No, I always buy whole number of cakes. So how many cakes do I need to buy? I need to buy 3 cakes. So some answers you need to round your calculations or your final calculations up or down according to the question. Is this clear? This is the end of our lesson today. Thank you for watching and see you soon.